The Jupiter Boys. Is it
Hello,
recording?
everybody, and welcome to the Jupiter Boys. It's funny that Quinn starts it every single episode off now with essentially new country music.
Yeah.
It's really weird. It's sort
strange.
of evolved.
I don't.
It evolved to that over time. It started.
I don't even like country.
Yeah,
That's the weird thing.
It started with people saying the Jupiter Boys in weird ways. We actually used to have somebody named Tronald Dump who used to who recorded.
Jupiter Boys.
Yeah, exactly.
Jupiter Boys.
The Jupiter Boys.
The Jupiter Boys.
The Juniper Boys. I slightly think that may have been Mike Fallick.
Oh, maybe.
Mamby. We're the Jupiter Boys. We're two boys. We're from the planet Jupiter. Each week we get together and have conversations. Except for last week,
So you can sit on your butt.
Yeah, so you can do that. We didn't do last week, and we didn't say anything about it. We just pretended like nothing was happening. Although it was the yearly
Holiday.
anniversary of the birth of our Messiah, Jesus Christ.
Well, it
of
was the
Nazareth.
Honda days. It was the Honda days. So
Yeah. So each week we flip a coin of truth to decide who goes first in the topic-a-thon. It's a coin. It has two sides on it. There's a yellow side and there's a plaque side. Quinn, which would you like?
I'd like the plaque, please.
Ooh, you going for the plaque today? It is the
Yeah.
plaque side, Quinn.
It's the
So
plaque today.
what do you have for me in your little scrotum of treats?
My little scrotum of treats, Jim.
Well, everybody says you're a little bag of tricks, right? And
Yeah,
I mean, a little bag is
treats
just a
better.
scrotum, so you can just replace anytime you say little bag with scrotum. If you're at a drugstore and they're like, "Hey, would you like a little bag?" and you're like, "Yes, I would take a scrotum, please."
I would like a scrotum. And if you're at Bulk Barn and you want some candy, you said, just like a little scrotum of candy.
Actually, I brought my own scrotum. Can you weigh it for me so that I can use it? Thank you.
I need to zero out my scrotum.
Yeah.
So my topic today, Jim, is we both have been very stressed and very worried because it's the holidays.
Well,
And
it's
a
now
stressful
over.
time.
It's now over.
It's now over. So
Yeah.
so we've gotten past this.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to know which holiday is the horniest? This is stepping in a little bit of Quinn's naughty bits.
Okay, yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, if you're talking about which holiday is the horniest,
Halloween, I would say.
Halloween is hands down, and I think anybody would agree with that. It's the time of year. It's straight pride parade. It is the time of year that everybody gets to dress slutty, act ridiculous.
But I'm gonna throw a wrench in there.
Okay.
I'm just gonna throw a caveat real quick.
Yep.
And just propose that New Year's is even hornier than
New Year's is pretty horny. But I would argue
there's
that
that
Halloween's
new-
about that dirty stranger
Yeah.
sex because everybody's in costume, whereas New Year's is more about leaving the past behind sex. Trying to get in on that new, trying to get
new
one
year,
last
new
bang
me.
in. Yeah, trying to get one last bang in for the year, or trying to start the year off with a good bang.
with a good bang, yeah.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you don't even know the person, and then you just end up making out with them.
See-
and there's a social pressure to just make out with someone that
Definitely.
you don't know.
Were you able to make out with someone random
No.
on New Year's?
Not this year.
No.
Not this year. So
It's
my
a bummer.
New Year's was very unhorny.
It was very
But I've had
unhorny.
some New Year's that are pretty horny.
This year for New Year's, I was in bed at 9:45, and it was
Nice.
glorious, dog. Honestly,
Man, that sounds amazing.
had some pizza, drank a couple
Oh.
beers, went to bed at a reasonable hour, watched some TV in bed for a bit, turned out the lights, got a nice
now you're
solid night of
speaking
sleep.
my language.
It was a good way to honestly, it's a good way of starting a new decade, man. Just waking up refreshed, going into work,
Yeah.
I
got
getting paid double
shithoused.
time.
I actually got shithoused for the first time in 6 months.
You got drunk?
I got drunk.
Oh my goodness!
It was
now,
three sh- it
listeners, you should know Quinn does not drink. He's a non-drinker. He smokes the doobers,
Yeah.
but he does not drink the alcohol. So how did that happen?
So basically, my friend gave me this drink, right?
Okay.
And it's a very, very tall drink. It was super tall. It was this long beer glass, and he
Okay.
put this blue drink in there.
Okay.
And I was just trying his drink,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, can I have just a sip? and he gave me a sip, and I sipped this sweet nectar of the gods.
Okay.
And I said, I want that. I want a whole drink of that. And he's like, oh, just drink that one. I'll just make myself another one.
Okay.
And then like I was drinking it, and I was kind of getting a little tipsy as I was going. I was like, how many shots are in here? So I decided to ask my buddy, how many shots are in here? He's like, oh, there's 3 shots. I'm like, 3 shots? I don't drink, dude. I'm gonna be shithoused. And so I was just pounding back the drink, and then just a bunch of water. The drink, and then just a bunch of water, just to prepare.
Although 3 shots is just the equivalent of like 3 of any drink. Like it's like 3 beers or 3 coolers or.
But I don't drink. I don't drink, so it would probably hit me harder. The weird thing is,
yeah,
it got me drunk, but only for like an hour.
Well, yeah, because you were drinking tons of water, and there's lots of sugar in it, so it's like it metabolizes pretty quickly. If you've got a fairly full stomach, you're dancing, you're sweating it out, you're moving it through the system. Honestly, I think you could handle more alcohol than you think you could.
Probably.
I think you think like your tolerance is super low, but I mean, Nick, you're an adult man. You are able to process alcohol, and you do have
not only an
European
adult man,
ancestors who have
not only
excellent alcohol processing abilities.
But an adult man who drinks as much water as I drink an excessive amount.
Oh yeah, you drink your body weight in water per day.
Yeah.
Now let's get back to the original conversation of what holiday is the horniest, because I think a lot of amateurs, I think a lot of people who, maybe wouldn't think of the question too hard right off the bat, would go for Valentine's Day right off the bat.
Oh,
right?
yes.
Because
but there's a lot of pressure for Valentine's Day.
There's a huge amount of pressure. And here's the thing I find about Valentine's Day that happens to the inexperienced, to the uninitiated in the Valentine's Day. Because first of all, Valentine's Day is really for the couples.
Yes.
It's not for the singles who are just dating casually.
I've tried to pick up a girl. I've tried to pick up a girl Valentine's Day. It is difficult.
It's not a good time. And the thing is, it's because like they're all evaluating their entire lives. Because all of their girlfriends are posting on Instagram these wonderful
engaged and shit.
Yeah, these wonderful momentous, love events that are happening in their lives, and they're sitting there alone and horny. But it's bad horny. It's sad horny.
It's bad. It's bad.
It's
sad
that
horny.
sad. It's that bad sad horny. So
Bad Sad Horny was my second favorite production studio next to Bad Hat Harry.
Bad Sad Horny was my my MySpace name. So there was X's before, like is X bad, X sad, X horny.
I want to make that my Twitter name
now. But so like, here's the thing about a couple's enjoying Valentine's Day night. They get the chocolate. They maybe have a couple chocolates. He gets flowers. He can have kissy. They go out for a nice, delicious meal. Maybe some dancing. They get home. They're fucking full and sweaty and grossed out, and they don't have sex. So it's actually not the most horny holiday. Like, because by the time you get home, you're just like, oh fuck, we ate too much at that fancy restaurant. Let's just go to bed. So. And that's why Dan Savage has this motto, like, that on Valentine's Day you fuck first, like just fuck first, like before you do.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, before you do any events, just fuck first and like get that done, and then
get that over with.
Well, not even get it over with, just like you're going to not want to do this later. Like that's what Valentine's Day is. So like just do it right off the bat. So I would say that Valentine's Day, because of all those little traps, it's one of the less horny holidays, really.
I would say so. Yeah.
Another thing that Dan Savage says is that Christmas is never horny. Christmas cannot be hot.
I don't really like. I don't like Christmas
fully.
as big.
No, I honestly disagree fully. I think like girls in like the Santa lingerie, like mwah, like
my
girls
suggestively
using candy canes, all about it.
It's perfect. It's perfect. Actually, yeah, I disagree too.
2 candy canes hanging on some nipples. I mean, come on.
That's amazing.
Get the fuck out of here with that.
That's just, I mean, that's a winner every day on the internet. That's
right.
So I wanted to propose, how are we going to make, this is probably the least horny holiday.
Okay.
How are we going to make Easter horny?
See,
let's do it.
Easter can be made horny, and I've seen it done with, bunny ears. You get the classic Playboy bunny ears.
But
carrots.
How are you going to make the actual Jesus rising from the dead horny?
I mean, like, there's definitely
like
a point of that, for sure.
Yeah, you could do like the Jesus rises from the dead, and then his dick rises from the proverbial dead,
Yeah, I mean, religious, like it's hard to make religious holidays
it's
horny.
hard to make it.
You have to just
Yeah.
like focus on the non-secular parts of that. Because I mean, if you really focus down on that for Christmas, it'd be like involving babies in barns, and like that's not a hot
There's
time.
There's a holiday in Canada
Yeah.
called Family Day.
Yeah.
How do we make that day porny?
Well, that's an
Maybe
easy
like
one.
send the kids to their grandparents'
Yeah,
house and
literally,
then
it's just like
dick down?
get the fuck out of here, and we're gonna make this family bigger today. You know,
Okay.
like
So every Family Day you got to make a baby.
well, you got to try. You got to give it a go. Even if you're a same-sex couple, you got to give it a go. Like, I mean, just fucking go at her. You know, who knows? You could get lucky.
Yeah, life finds a way.
Life finds a way. It happened for it happened for the T-Rexes. So I mean,
life finds a way.
yeah, I mean the T-Rexes were both female, and then suddenly one of them spontaneously grew sperm. So I mean,
Yep.
or no, did they become asexual? I can't remember. I think they became asexual.
I believe they became asexual.
Yeah.
And could just like lay chickens like eggs, or like lay eggs like chickens, like chickens like eggs.
Well, I mean, they already could lay eggs because they were reptiles. I think it was just the
but
point that they became fertilized. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, definitely, and then and we cannot forget St. Patrick's Day just because of the level of sheer inebriation.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a horny holiday right off the bat. There's Kiss Me I'm Irish.
is.
There's girls in slutty
Yep.
green outfits. I mean, that
Yep.
is, that's a classic.
They're always like really revealing outfits
Oh, always.
and
Suspenders all the time. And that's the end of the topic. So,
suspenders.
yeah.
Suspenders. So
Suspender,
what
I
time
barely
is it?
know her.
Suspender. Yeah, it's good. I like that.
What time
Do you
is
wanna
it,
ask-
Quinn?
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask if you wanted to ask me. It's time for the Make Show Smoke Break. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go first because I'm all prepped up. So just...
I can't participate this week, so
Okay,
I'm
so
going to
keep it-
talk to the crowd because Quinn's a sicky boy. And when Quinn's a sicky boy, he can't do bong rips because they hurt.
So how are you high right now?
I smoked a joint, which
Oh.
doesn't really affect me. And at the tail end of the joint doesn't really affect it. Doesn't make me more phlegmy or anything. It's weird. Haven't coughed a single time this episode, but if I had a bong, I'd be coughing like a motherfucker. So when sicky boy Quinn...
What about a pipe?
Pipe, actually, I haven't tried a pipe because my pipe is very gross and dirty, and I don't want to clean it.
Right.
So there's that dilemma, and it's a weird pipe to clean. It's like this water pipe thing, and it's very hard to clean because it's got this compartment that you can't really get into.
All right.
I'm like,
let's get back
yeah.
to the show here. Quinn,
bong cleaning is a fucking topic in itself. Let me tell you that much.
Sure is. I could go on
Shit.
for days and days about bong cleaning, but I won't because, well, I care about humanity. So, Quinn, my topic. I'm glad you kind of went the New Year's route because I'm kind of feeling that same vibe. And I was thinking the other day. I was thinking about the topic you brought to the table a few episodes back about like an unfounded sense of accomplishment, right? To
Right.
feel accomplished about something, even though there's no reason for that. And I guess
Right.
like my view of resolutions, like New Year's resolutions, is that they're never really for the person making the resolution.
No.
They
They're
generally
to look good.
Exactly. They generally tend to be to show, like, to brag to other people's, I'm going to make my life better. Like, look
Right.
at I'm working hard over here on making myself better. And
Hey,
how much of a dickhead the person is based on how their resolution looks. For example, okay,
Yeah.
my partner has somebody on her Instagram. This is a person we know in real life, okay?
Yes.
And her resolution this year was to not wear her hair up for the entire year. She wanted to wear her hair down for the entire year. Because she felt like she doesn't put enough effort into styling her hair, I guess. And so putting it up...
but
She just always
But
puts it
it's-
up in a messy bun, and so she's like, if you see me with it in a messy bun, you chew me out on social media. Now, here's...
What? But you can wear your hair up, girl. Wear your hair up. It's convenient.
That's okay.
Gets you out of
That's
your
number
eyes.
one. I mean, and she did make concessions that, like, while she was being athletic, like working out, she was going to put it up because, like, that just makes sense.
Girl, wear your hair up. Wear your hair down. Who cares?
Right. And my idea of this was like, if you are presenting your life as so perfect and so like nothing to be changed about it, like so unimprovable, that your main resolution for the year is to
Is
not
to
put your
wear
hair
your-
up, holy fuck, you are a gigantic asshole of a person. Like, oh my
Definitely.
fucking god, you must think the world of your life. Like, are you
Right?
Are you fucking kidding me?
That
That's
doesn't
the
make any
best you can
sense.
do? You fucking
Yeah.
idiot. But so what I'm saying is
You
like
could say
essentially
eat less carbs, and that's a blanket one. You could
well,
just
and I'm glad you said that because like we all know resolutions are for other people. They're for other people
Yeah.
to look at your life and be like, "Oh, okay, that's what they're going for." You know, if-
they're actually not a poo-poo person.
right? If you're
they
a fat,
do this nice thing.
if you're a fat person, everybody expects you to be like, "I'm going to lose all this weight this year." If you're an alcoholic, everybody expects you to be like, "I'm going to only
I'm
have
gonna
one
quit
drink a
drinking.
night." Yeah, exactly.
I'm
If
gonna
you're a
quit
smoker,
drinking this
everybody
week.
expects you to say you're going to quit smoking. It's whatever
Yeah.
flaws you have, you're presenting to the outside world. I'm working on them, you know, and I ain't perfect. You know, nobody's
Yeah,
perfect,
yeah.
but you know, I'm giving her a go at it. Nice stroke, Pam. So,
Did you have a stroke, Pam? Nice stroke, Pam.
so, but basically, what I wanted to know, because like this is sort of the opposite of the unfounded sense of accomplishment. You have no sense of accomplishment, but people around you feel like you're working on something, right? It's like the literal opposite. It's like you don't feel fuck all, but people around you are like, oh, maybe they're doing a little bit, maybe they're a little bit less of a shithead than I thought that they were previously.
Yeah.
By the way, I just hit the gong of stupidity, so you know, for
It
what
happens.
it matters. So I guess my question is, what are things that see, I feel like there's two ways of kind of winning that public attention and respect with this game, right? You can either make a resolution that is like medium level goal and you can actually attain it and like people can watch you attaining it, which is like part
Yeah.
of the thing, right? Is like, look at me performing this life improvement for all of you people. So I'm like, what kind of like mid-range goals? Like, for instance, I've had in the past resolutions to read a certain number of books in a year. And then I didn't.
Yes.
I just listened to them on audiobook because I'm a fucking lazy asshole. But then I was able
Well, I
to
mean,
post my
that's a-
Goodreads score on at the end being like, look at all the books I read.
Yeah, but that's just you're just sacrificing the
But
you know,
here-
written
but
book
here's- but, like,
for
let
an
me-
audiobook that saves time.
Let
It's
me
actually
suggest
more
something. Let me
productive.
suggest something to you though. I could fucking sit in front of Netflix and turn off the display on my monitor, turn the brightness all the way down, and watch Netflix for like 7 days in a row and say like, oh, I read a ton of audiobooks. You know, I read a ton of books. When it's not really true. Like it's not this. It's not. You didn't. You're just listening to things. Like it's just you're consuming content. You didn't do fuck all. So
No.
that's
But
a good
I mean,
one.
and at the same time, I'd consider it the same, but I wouldn't consider listening to Netflix the same as listening to an audiobook because an audiobook actually takes you on an emotional journey. and
Sure,
shit.
but what I'm saying is like if you had like a narration heavy store like show, what's the
Right,
difference,
yeah.
right? Like what
true.
is the difference? It's just audio. It's audio telling a story. So
But I think it's rewarding to get through an audiobook
oh,
because
totally. Yeah. It's
you
a
have to
full
keep
story.
your-
It's a full
your
complete
energy,
story.
yeah.
It's like consuming any piece of media. But I mean like I feel like reading is more of a I think like the
it
feeling
activates your brain in a different way.
yeah, I don't know. I think that like actively sitting down and reading something because you have to physically engage with it, like with your eyes, like
Yeah.
move your eyes across the page, like actually, you know, interpret the words in your own head. That like it adds something to it, like it adds in a level of understanding or comprehension to it. But at the
Can I
same
make
time,
Can I make it a confession?
yes.
I can't read while I'm high, but I can read comics while I'm high.
Well, that makes sense. You're looking
And I
at
can
pictures.
read very advanced, like very like complicated comic. Like I read Watchmen while I was high, and I had no problems with it. But the second it's in like a page, like the book form,
Yeah.
for some reason my brain a lot of the times it's just like I don't understand these words. I can't put them together.
It's not even
And
that
I'm like-
you don't understand the words. It's that your brain is just like, I have no pretty pictures to make context of words. Like
Yeah,
literally
that's
like
true.
the pictures like add so much context to the words you're reading that you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, I get it. You know, like you see the expression on their face, like, you know, you don't have to interpret things like that.
Watchmen was a rewarding read again. I've read this book like 3 times, but it's so rewarding.
My
every
copy
time.
of Watchmen I stole from a former housemate because I was pissed at him. I was just like,
Nice.
oh no, I bought this one. I don't know where yours is.
That's awesome.
Stupid idiot. I'm glad he didn't like. It's lucky he didn't like write on the inside cover, just like actually my name's right here. So, but yeah. So like, I wanted to know what are either some like very easily achievable resolutions that like people can look at you and go, oh, good job making your life better, or
Yeah.
that, or so unachievable but so ambitious that people will just like applaud you for the gall to have that kind of ambition. Like, I want to go to Nigeria and rescue 56 children and give them all
I'm not gonna
educations.
do that. I'm not gonna do that shit.
No, but I mean, like, you could say something like that. You could be like,
Okay.
I want to become the CEO of UNICEF and feed all the children. And,
Okay,
and people would
so-
be like, well, that's a noble goal. You're not going to do it, but I mean, like, we appreciate that you are lying
Can I go
to
a
us
different?
so boldly.
Can I go a different route?
Yes.
Can I go a little bit of a silly route?
Yeah, of course.
What I-
This is the
what I
Jupiter Boys.
res-
Have you never heard this show?
What I resolved to do in 2020, perfect vision, the year of perfect vision.
That is the.
So it
is
just
the
writes
year of
itself.
perfect vision. Yeah.
2020 perfect.
2020.
Perfect vision.
See it all.
See it all. That's good.
Yeah.
See it all and smell it all. So for 2020, see it all, smell it all. People will be like, "Is there a
That's the
second
slogan.
nose part of that?"
2020. See it all, smell it all. Fuck. For no reason other than Quinn just threw that in there.
See it all, smell it. So in 2020, I resolve to have a lunch date with Dave Franco.
Wow.
And
Okay.
I think that achieves my goal of being able to talk to Dave Franco.
Yeah.
I don't want it doesn't even have to be a fancy lunch. We could go to fucking Dairy Queen.
You know
and
Dave
have, like,
Franco's not going to go to Dairy Queen, though. You know he's
That's
eating
true.
some like high-level vegan superfoods.
But I'll eat the vegan superfoods with him. I just want to have a conversation with the guy. I want to have like a little heart to heart.
I mean, I would like to be
And-
there also. If
Yeah, you're invited.
Yeah,
You're definitely invited.
Yeah, I didn't tell anybody, but my coworker got me a mug with a collage of Dave Franco on it. It's wonderful. It's so beautiful.
You've shown me, and it's what heaven is made out of.
Yeah.
I feel like heaven is just
It was
mugs
just
of
such a
Dave
solid
Franco.
get. So I mean, like, what do you think that says to people about you by making such a resolution?
I think it says about me that I'm willing to take a joke, like a podcast that I make with my brother. I'm willing to take it so far that I can actually make a dinner, like a lunch date with Dave Frank. And then I'm not even going to resolve for 2020. I'm going to resolve for like the rest of my life. I just want one
lunch date
with
Dave Franco.
With
Well,
Dave
you heard it
Franco.
here first. That's the end of the topic. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see if in Quinn's lifetime we will be making this podcast for the next 50 to 70 years. So
with the same amount of listeners at the beginning as at the end.
It'll be like the same 4 people. Like,
Well,
oh,
like
hey,
the
Rob,
last
hey, Mark.
episode. So, this is the last episode. And Dixon Butts, shoot it straight down. Shoot it down your gullets, motherfuckers.
And then like you just hear our us die.
Our families like are crying at the beds.
The estate is running the podcast. They just start playing reruns after that. Okay, thank you everybody for listening. If you want, just listen for the next 50 to 70 years. It's going to be good.
And if anybody knows
probably
Dave
not.
Franco personally,
Yep.
please get him in touch with us.
Shoot back at us. I'm at the Jupiter Boys on Twitter.
I'm at Quinn Jupiter.
You can also get us at thejupiterboys@gmail.com. We've also got thejupiterboys.com. I think you can probably get us at like info@thejupiterboys.com, probably. But you can also join me in saying thank you to Christo Graham for the use of our theme music.
Thank you, Christopher Graham.
That was pretty beautiful.
you,
You can at that jupiterboys.com website that I mentioned, you can also just like listen to all the old episodes. We're part of the Woodolpha Shark Network. They include the podcast Dave Franco's Dream Boys, which we talked about briefly. You should check that out if you're also a Dave Franco Dream Boy, which is a gender neutral term. Girls
anyone.
can be Dream Boys too. And you should also check out the podcast Durf and Dietz. There's a lot of D's in our network.
Yeah.
Dave Franco's
lots of
Dream
Ds.
Boys, Durf and Dietz. So anyway, Durf and Dietz, they're two boys. They're from Eastern Canada. They haven't had an episode in a while, but they just had their 100th, so you should check that out. Subscribe to them. They got good stuff. And then what you should do is you should take those nuts and shoot them.
Straight down your gullet. You almost forgot what you were going to say, didn't you?
No.
You silly little dog. Why did I call you a silly little dog?
What dolphin shark?